we will broadcast for you the news in English on Radio Free Syria.
Welcome to our news hour from Radio Free Syria. I am MarwanKADRO and I will be with you during this news hour. We will start with the headlines. Local coordination committees of Syria. By the end of Saturday, the LCC were able to confirm 120 marches across Syria, including 10 children, 8 women. 2 were martyred after being tortured. 58 martyrs were reported in Damascus and its suburbs, 25 in Aleppo, 11 in Idlib, 7 in Daraa, 6 in Homs, 5 in Hama, 4 in Deir ez-Zor, 2 in Latakia, and 1 in Banyas. Areas hit today total 268 different points, of which 80 were hit by airstrikes, 3 by cluster bombs, 2 by barrel bombs, 1 by thermobaric bombs, 111 by mortars, 87 by artillery, and 46 by rocket missiles. The Free Syrian Army clashed with regime armies in 88 different points. The FSA downed a MiG in Abu Duhur airport, controlled the road connecting Hej and Babulin, secured defection of several soldiers from Wadi Daif in Idlib, liberated social insurance building in Deir ez-Zor, controlled the Ba'ath Dam Agriculture Research Center and the military station in Raqqa, controlled the chemistry regiment in Adra in Damascus suburbs, and killed 48 soldiers from military security in intense and lengthy clashes. We will start with Homs. Heavy shelling on the city of Talbisa using mortars and tanks as the Assad forces bombard Al-Masjar neighborhood. Also heavy shelling on Al-Rastan city as the Assad forces are using all kinds of weapons such as rocket launchers and heavy artillery, which resulted in several injuries, among them women and children. Moreover, heavy bombardments on several areas of Homs countryside as the Assad forces have shelled the city of Al-Hula using heavy artillery. The villages of Al-Qusayr and Qal'at Al-Hassan have been also under heavy gunfire. Heavy bombardments from warplanes on several neighborhoods of Homs city such as Jobar, As-Sultaniya and Kafr Aya. The Assad forces are using TNT barrels as they have dropped more than 20 mortars until now on these neighborhoods. Next to Homs, in the province of Hama, the people of Hama and Syria have revived yesterday the massacre of Hama in 1982, which led to the death of more than 40,000 people back then. They went out on the streets as they have demonstrated to call for Assad to step down. There was a major strike in the city of Hama as all the shops were closed. There were heavy battles between the Free Syrian Army and the Assad forces in several neighborhoods of Hama. The FSA have hit Al-Ilaf checkpoint with an RPG. Heavy battles in the city of Karnaz in Hamas countryside between the FSA and the Assad forces. Meanwhile, heavy shelling on Halfaya from Al-Ma'ardas checkpoint. Several missiles have been dropped also on Al-Latamna city in Hamas countryside. In Deir ez-Zor, heavy shelling is still going on as the Assad forces are using all kinds of weapons on the neighborhoods of Al-Huwaiqa, Al-Jbayliya, Al-Hamidiyya, Sheikh Yasin and Al-Ardi. Moreover, heavy battles between the Free Syrian Army and the Assad forces in several areas of Deir ez-Zor. Also heavy bombardments on the villages of Al-Ma'ariya and Abu Amro. Heavy battles between the Free Syrian Army and the Assad forces near the 130th Brigade in Idlib, as heavy battles have been heard between the Free Syrian Army and the Assad forces who is surrounding Al-Shabibah camp. The Assad forces addresses with heavy shelling in the villages of Al-Nayrab and Sarmin and Qininas. Heavy explosions have been heard in the same area. The city of Saraqib have been also under heavy shelling since the early morning, as the city of Ma'arat and Nu'man was also under heavy bombardments from the tanks that are located in the valley of Al-Daif. Meanwhile, the Assad forces tried to enter the village of Al-Dair as the FSA succeeded in stopping their attack. The city of Taftanaz was also under heavy shelling from MiG airstrike forces, as the villages of Jabal al-Zawiya have been under heavy bombardments as the Assad forces have used all kinds of weapons to shell these villages. In Damascus and its suburbs, heavy battles near the military base in the city of Erbil between the Free Syrian Army and the Assad forces, as the FSA was able to destroy a checkpoint of the Assad forces at the street of Al-Adawi. Also, heavy battles between the Assad forces and the FSA in Yarmouk refugee camp, as a major explosion have been heard in the capital Damascus. Moreover, heavy shelling with missiles on several areas of Damascus suburbs. Moving to Dar'a, heavy battles on Dar'a al-Balad using tanks and all kinds of weapons, as also heavy bombardments on the countryside of Dar'a, and particularly in the villages of Al-Yadudiya, Al-Mzirib and Khirbat al-Ghazali. Also heavy shelling on Busr al-Harir as the Assad forces tries to enter the city. Last but not least, in Aleppo, heavy battles between the Free Syrian Army and the Assad forces in Sheikh Maqsoud neighborhood, as several explosions have been heard. The Assad forces have arrested several civilians in the 3rd street of Al-Hamdaniya, as heavy battles have been heard in the same area, as heavy battles have been also heard in Al-Judayda neighborhood. Also, a Scud missile have been dropped on Al-Ansari neighborhood, which led until now to more than 15 people killed. This was it for today. Thank you very much for listening. I am MarwanKADRO, along with me, Executive Manager Islam Al-Idilbi. Please follow us on freesyriaradio.webs.com. You can also reach us through Skype on Syrian3 42. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Right now, we will broadcast for you the news in English on Radio Free Syria.